feeling.
You know what that's like.
No question.
So that leads us to this question. What is the number one priority for the Steelers this offseason, B-Man?
I mean, they got to find a quality pass catcher outside of Antonio Brown on the perimeter. That's Kevin Durant right there.
Indeed it
Must be the Washington game. Yeah, I think they got to find a way to address the wide receiver. We don't know what's going to happen with Martavius Bryant. If he's coming back, and if he is back, can you count on him? But today, especially with them taking out Antonio Brown, they had nothing. Eli Rogers gave them a few plays here and there. Of course, he had a costly fumble in the slot, but Hamilton, Hayward Bay, is known to be more of a specialist. Sammy Coates is a guy they feel like he could do some good things, but he's been so inconsistent. I mean, according to PFF, including the playoffs, Sammy Coates had 10 drops versus 23 receptions this season. That's the highest drop rate for any wide receiver since 2007. He's been inconsistent.
Yeah.
And this offense can be unstoppable. If they had Martavius Bryant, just think back when they had Martavius, how unstoppable they have been. But they got to find a way to get other guys involved outside of Antonio Brown. And right now, based on the numbers and the names you saw in that graphic, Eli Rogers, I like Eli, but he's more of a slot guy. Mm-hmm. You need to have another dependable guy on the perimeter that can go out and win one-on-one battles.
It's interesting that the Patriots had two receivers over 100 yards, yep. Chris Edelman and Chris Hogan, and Julian Edelman. Yep. Both those guys went over 100 receiving yards, and the Steelers didn't have one guy at all. Like Antonio Brown, just 77 receiving yards. Yep. And to your point, you would have to think if there's somebody else to worry about, that will open things up for AB a little bit more. When teams can focus on him, it's really hard for him to be effective.
Yeah, you got to have a number two that can open some things up. You look at with Julio, Mohamed Sanu has emerged to be a quality number two wide receiver, but Pittsburgh, they don't have the same ability outside of Antonio.